undefeated welterweight Shavkat Rakhmonov will step back into the octagon against Geoff Neal in a 3-round fight scheduled for January 14th. Geoff Neal, with a record of 15-4, who is currently on a 2-fight winning streak with wins over Santiago Ponzinibbio and Vicente Luque. As for Shavkat Rakhmonov, 16-0, finishes in all 16 of his professional bouts, including a submission win against Neil Magny back in June. Paddy Pimblett is targeting return for UFC 282 on December 10th. In an interview on the Cage Warrior 144 broadcast, Pimblett said, "I'm planning on fighting on December 10th. I'm just waiting for an opponent. I'm just waiting for an opponent to step up and sign a dotted line. Everyone talks about the baddie. Everyone talks about fighting me. When the contract is in front of them, they are not as confident."
First of all, thank you very much for being with us, Paddy. It's a pleasure, it's an honor. We just wanted to ask you, we saw recently that you were going to come here in Rome to attend on the first ever Cage Warriors event here in Italy. How is your emotion, how is your feeling, that you are a really old veteran of Cage Warriors, to be a part of such a great event?
Yeah, it's brilliant, lad. It's nice being able to come to a new place where Cage Warriors have never been before. You know what I mean? I think I've done it a few times in the past, but it's probably the nicest place I've visited with Cage Warriors, Rome. You know what I mean? You can't beat the Eternal City, like, can you?
Thank you very much. It's something that we really appreciate when to see that people love to come in here. Yeah. Italy, it's still young as a place for the MMA world, because we still hasn't have UFC events. But we really think that this could be the...
This is the start, lad. This is the start.
Oh, thank you. This is what we were thinking, because Cage Warriors, as you showed, as Conor showed, and a lot of athletes like you, Cage Warriors is the place where you want to be to reach the UFC. But
Cage Warriors is the only place to be, lad, if you want to go to the UFC. You know what I mean? Like, I always say it, whether you end up fighting on the Contender Series or you become a champion in the UFC, in Cage Warriors to get to the UFC, Cage Warriors is the best feeder promotion for the UFC. So, especially in Europe, anyone in Europe, if you're not on Cage Warriors, what are you doing?
What do you do? And just let me ask you some few questions. We saw that your arrival in the UFC has been amazing. You did exactly what you promised to us, to your fans, especially in your last match. I remember something very funny. During your interview pre-match, you told the world that you would have been teabagged him after the win, and that's exactly what you did. What could we expect from you, without saying anything that you can't, for your next matchup? Do you have some place or somebody in your mind?
I'm fighting on December 10th, lad. I'm fighting UFC 282. I'm fighting then. I just don't know who. You know what I mean? We'll see who steps up. You know what I mean? Everyone talks about me, everyone mentions me, but it's different, lad, when it actually gets put in front of them. You know what I mean?
We saw that a lot of people seems to want to fight you, probably because you are the next big thing that is coming to the UFC.
Everyone talks though. They all talk about fighting me, and then, you know, I'm still trying to find an opponent now, lad, for December 10th. So they all talk a big game, lad, but they don't back it.
Last question, then I let you go. You fought in two card in London, in your country. What is the emotion? What is the feeling that you feel being English, being from that country and fighting in front of a kind of crowd that Europe probably has never seen in the UFC?
Yeah, well, obviously fighting in your home country, it's special. There's nothing like it. It's even better fighting in your own city though, and I've done it, lad.
This will come.
Yeah, I've done it. I've already done it though, winning a world title in my own city, winning the Cage Warriors world title. There's nothing like it, and if Martinini can do that tomorrow night, I promise you it'll be one of the greatest moments of his life.
Thank you very much. Last question, how long do we need to wait to see you fighting for a belt in the UFC?
It's going to be a few years. I'm in no rush. I'll get my money in first, then I'll get that belt.
Thank you very much, Paddy, for your time. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy Rome.
Thank you very much.
We eat very, very well here.
In an interview with MMA Fighting, Justin Gaethje said he's willing to fight Conor McGregor, but is looking for fair competition.
I mean, who knows? I mean, if everybody would remember correctly, I fought Cowboy, I beat Cowboy, and then he fought Cowboy right after that. I was primed, ready to go. Sounds to me like he's off taking steroids right now. He hasn't been drug tested by USADA in quite some time. I'm looking for a fair competition. If he's on steroids, then give me steroids and let's go. Yeah, I'm down with that. But my health is my biggest factor. I have never taken a performance-enhancing drug, and I do not want to fight people that are taking performance-enhancing drugs. So again, even if I don't even know how it works. I don't even know how steroids work. I'm sure there's windows. I'm sure he'd be fine. I'm sure he can come back and be clean. But the fact that he hasn't been being drug tested tells me he's been off taking steroids, whether to heal his leg or not. If I break my leg, I'm not taking steroids to heal my leg. So that's going to be the title of our thing. I'd rather it not be. But he had the chance to fight me. He didn't fight me. He picked Cowboy. So, yeah. Whatever. Who cares? Who knows? Maybe. I'm sure he's confident that much more confident now that he could beat me. He clearly didn't take that fight then because he, wasn't confident. So maybe he's more confident now and more willing to dance. Who knows?
Rafael Fiziev replied on Twitter and said, USADA tested me 6 times this year. I'm available for fair competition, bro, at Justin Gaethje. Unless you're worried my skills will make it unfair. Fiziev also tweeted out another video and says, breaking video of Justin Gaethje negotiating his next fight with Conor on his boat. Here's the video.
I got too many hoes, but they ain't you. You like to put that shit in your nose, but I still love you. Be doing shit that nobody knows.